Hi, my name is Saladin Patterson, and I wrote the episode He Dead. When the idea was first pitched, it was generally well received. It was one of those things where we knew we liked the area, the world of the rich, but it really had to boil down to who the characters were going to be that we were going to be spending so much time with. So once we figured out that we wanted to focus on a rich family with a patriarch that had passed away who was like a Bernie Madoff type, and maybe a dysfunctional family so that we can make fun of some of the habits and practices and secrets of the rich, then I think people really saw what the episode could be, and they saw how Sean and Gus could have fun in this world with these different characters. And I think then it was really, really like well received. We tend to do a pass once the script is done right before we get ready to shoot it, where we add jokes and make trims and things, and that's usually where we try to put in as many of the references as we can. The red vines one I think is funny, especially I think Sean has a line about making a computer out of red vines. I like it when he gets fixated on something and just can't let go. Trying to think, for some reason this one seemed to have a lot of maybe snack references like the red vines and Cactus Cooler. ShamWow is interesting. Also, I don't know if ShamWow was being sold by the gentleman just passed away or not, but if so, this was before that, so it wasn't bad taste. But I always wonder how those things work, so I was hoping we'd get some free ShamWows, but that didn't happen. So now that Sean's in a relationship, we hope to show some sort of growth for his character, but try to do it in a comedic way, in a way that stays true to the character of Sean that people have grown to love. People love the fact that he's a big kid, but we kind of wanted to put him in a more uncomfortable situation now that he's dating, so that he kind of has to be a little bit more of a fish out of water, because he doesn't always know the right thing to do. Sean's the kind of guy that always in control, so we wanted to put him in a situation where he doesn't know the answers all the time, so we can see how he responds when he's not totally in control. So in terms of like Sean's new role as a boyfriend, he's well equipped in some ways, we think, to be a girl's dream. He's very funny, he's charming, he pays attention to a lot of detail. It's the premise of the show, but at the same time, as we tried to talk about in this episode, he doesn't really understand the rules of being in a relationship, because he's the kind of guy that's used to making his own rules. So he's going to make some mistakes. He's not the kind of guy that knows when to call, or when to send a card, or when to say the right thing, or what's the right answer to the questions like, am I fat and things like that. So we're going to see him, make mistakes that way and still have fun and pull it out the way he does with the case. So in this episode, we have him actually do the wrap-up for the case at a funeral. Now, we've seen a couple of funerals before. One episode began at a funeral with the sea lion, and another one, I think, Male Models, it had a funeral in the middle. We just thought it was funny. We like putting Sean in situations where he takes control of a situation, because we think it's funny seeing how other people react to that, and kind of having him put his neck out like that. So we thought a funeral, it being something that's very formal, very reserved, where people on their best behavior, would be a good environment to see Sean kind of take over and do his antics, and then see the responses from people, but then also see him, pin the bad guy in that moment so that he's still the hero.